Hey guys, welcome back.
Welcome back to Inspired Delusions.
We hope you guys have been so delusional,
Yes.
so grateful,
Yes.
and just really being your best selves.
Yes. Hope you are more and more delusional every week, just like us. We say that every week.
No, literally.
We actually are like becoming more and more delusional every single week.
Yeah.
And it's possible.
Life is really, really, really good.
Life is really, really, really good. And it can be easy. And life can be good. And I just made that my phone background.
Really?
Yeah.
Cute.
Just changed my affirmation. I usually have an affirmation on my background of my phone, which side note you should do also, listeners. And I just changed that to universe, show me how easy life can be.
Oh, I love ease.
I love ease. We're heavy on the ease.
Yeah. So this week we are finally talking about something that Liv has been begging me to talk about, which is life and the world
Yeah.
is a mirror.
Yes. The world is a mirror.
And so before we get into this, I just want to pose a question to you guys and to you, Liv.
Yeah.
What if everything happening to you right now is a reflection of your own mindset and beliefs?
Yeah, we'd be living on Earth in this reality because that's literally the truth.
It's yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So so to the people who, aren't really into this, what if everything happening to you right now is a reflection of your own mindset and beliefs?
Yes.
That would be amazing, because then everything you want and desire would be yours.
Yeah, totally. And it's a good thing too, because even if your current reality isn't exactly what you want it to be, it all comes back to you, right? It all comes back to you changing your own subconscious beliefs, changing your own mindset, changing internally, and that changes externally. So we for me, I'm like, okay, we should give a trigger warning on this episode a little bit, because it can be a little bit triggering and it can be a little bit jarring hearing this for the first time and being like, oh, the world is a mirror. Okay, everything is kind of like my external is reflecting back to me what I'm currently internally believing, right? So it can be a little bit jarring at first, but from my experience personally, 1000% the truth, 1000% every time I change internally, then my external changes. And then I've, started working with clients and such, and all of my clients are a little bit like, well, I don't know about that. And then we start working on changing internally and changing our mindset. And then things start changing quickly.
They start to see good things reflected back to them, or they start to see things that they're hopeful for start to kind of manifest.
Yes, exactly.
The world is a mirror kind of goes hand in hand with the law of correspondence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if you guys don't know what the law of correspondence is, it essentially says that whatever happens around us is a direct reflection of what's happening within us.
Yes, the law of correspondence is one of the 12 universal laws, which if you are not familiar with those, you should go look them up 1000%, because I think, and that's something I've recently been looking more into, of just going back and studying the universal laws, because I'm like, there's so much information, there's so much knowledge, there's so much to learn. But I think that's a good, like, going back to the basics. If you just understand the universal laws, it kind of helps you understand everything else better. But the law of correspondence is definitely my favorite law.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Okay. I love it.
Yeah, nice.
I just love this topic.
Well, it's kind of a hopeful law, because it's essentially like, if you feel good, you get good.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And like, you could change that at any moment. It's your choice.
Yes.
You have access to things being better.
Yeah.
Internally, if you're good,
yes,
that's all you need, really.
Yeah, totally. That's what I was thinking about. I don't think I actually fully explained it, but it's a good thing, right? When you learn this, it can be a little bit triggering at first, but then ultimately, like realizing, remembering that the world is a mirror, and is giving you your power back, because it's like, oh, okay, everything comes back to me. I think of it now, I've been practicing this, learning about and whatnot, and now I'm like, I love it. I love, 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 love learning that the world is a mirror. I love learning that everything comes from me, because I'm like, okay, then I can change that. I can change any part of my reality. I can change the way people treat me. I can change how much money. Yeah, I can change how much money I'm making. I can change what my reality looks like. just from changing internally. So it's such a, if you change like from the victim mentality and thinking that you can't change your reality to taking radical responsibility and being like, oh, okay, actually I can change this, my entire reality from changing within.
Yeah. And why Liv said it was triggering earlier is because it kind of sucks to hear, oh, things aren't going your way. Well, it's kind of your fault for
Yeah,
like seeking that out.
totally.
And that sucks, especially like when you are kind of down bad and you're not feeling good, you're not feeling confident, and then all these things externally just aren't going your way. It's easy to kind of stay in that cyclic pit of like,
Totally.
everything's happening to me. This sucks.
Yeah.
Rainy days, this and that, the other.
Yeah.
And so it's hard to take that first step to being like, okay, maybe I'm receiving what I'm also putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
But once you start to change that
Yeah.
and start to really, like you said, take the power back and take responsibility and put yourself out there, the good stuff comes pretty quickly.
The good stuff comes pretty quickly, and then it just keeps coming, and your life starts getting better and better and better than you could have ever imagined. And it's crazy because we've talked about this before of like, when you are on this healing journey and you keep leveling up your mindset and your life keeps getting better, you look back and you're like, whoa, I was actually way down bad, and it didn't even, I guess I was just used to it back then, and it didn't really feel that bad when I was living in it. But then I look back, I'm like, I won't meditate for a couple of days. I'm like, I feel horrible.
Same.
And I'm like, wait, what? How was I living like this before?
Well, that's because like your baseline or wherever you're at, that's what you believe is your best situation.
Yeah.
Right. So like, let's say you're doing relatively well, which both the experiences we're referring to,
Yeah.
we were doing relatively well.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But then when you start to elevate and you start to shift your baseline and make that go higher and make your goals and dreams a little higher, yeah, duh, looking back, you're like, why was I okay with receiving and accepting certain behaviors or certain
treatment,
right,
or feeling like anxious all the time, like you thought that was normal? Totally.
Which we're so lucky to kind of feel the difference.
Yeah, so lucky. So yeah, take it from us. We feel really, really good.
Yeah.
No, just kidding. We're definitely not perfect, but I would say on that, like overall, I feel so good and so hopeful and so confident that everything I'm manifesting is coming true. A lot of it has come already, but a lot of it hasn't, and I'm like so excited.
It's exciting. Yeah,
because I'm like, wait, I now I'm 100% confident that we can create and manifest anything that you want just from our minds. So it's fun. It's fun up here in my mind. Like,
no, totally. And I think I was talking about this a little bit the last episode where we're kind of having fun in the slow moments too.
Yeah.
Because we know it's all coming. So
yes.
I don't really want it all today.
Right.
I want it as it pans out. I want the experiences in between.
Totally.
And knowing that and really just feeling that calm in my heart.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
And we should make a whole nother episode about this too, because like the wanting something is kind of keeping your desires away from you.
Away from the separation.
Yeah, the separation, because it's like, oh, you want it. And for me, I've been trying to change that to being like, oh, I don't even want it. I just know it's mine. So I'm like, okay, it's
or
mine.
I already have it. Or finding that feeling of completion in other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you want something, when you have a desire, and a lot of people talk about this differently because there's really no wrong way to bring to fruition what you want. But Olivia is saying that when she desires something, being like, I want that, it's putting a separation between her and her desire.
Yep.
And it's giving off the energy that she doesn't have it, so it continues to stay away.
Yes. If you want something, you can't have it and want it at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then just being like really sure and knowing, oh yeah, like that's mine.
Yeah.
It'll pop up in the way that I want it differently, but I'm acting as if I already have it because I can find it through other things.
Yeah, totally. And like being grateful for it before you even have it, being excited, because it's like, okay, well, I don't have it right this second, but I know it's coming. So it's like, why would I be worried about it?
Right. An easy way, I don't know if that was confusing to you guys, but a way that's simple for me to understand is like, okay, like I want $100,000. I don't know if I have $100,000 in the bank right now, but I can find abundance and I can find that feeling of being rich in so many other things through family, through friends, through freedom, through whatever. There's 100 things I could tell you right now that I feel it through.
Yeah.
And in having that feeling, that's when I attract the $100,000.
Yeah, totally. Okay, yes, but the world is a mirror. Law of correspondence. We'll circle back. I have multiple quotes for you guys today that have been life changing for me. And I want to read one of those right now. Okay, so I've already talked about Neville Goddard, and we have done an episode on him and how he's bae, and go look into his work. And Neville Goddard really, really, really talks about the world as a mirror. And so one of my quotes is from him, which is, "The world is a mirror, forever reflecting what you are doing within yourself," which is basically just what we're saying. Like
Right.
literally the world in your external reality, your 3D, sometimes we say, is always reflecting back to you your own internal beliefs, your subconscious beliefs, how your body's feeling, like what your nervous system is telling you and feeling like, what you're consciously thinking, like all of those things are being reflected back to you in your external.
Well, that makes sense because when you have a certain belief or you're thinking something over and over again, you go looking for it.
Totally.
So when you're saying, I don't make a lot of money, or it takes a lot of hard work to make money, then you go out, you go to work, and you have a hard day's work to get that money.
Yep. Your brain is always trying to prove to you your own beliefs, right? I just made a TikTok and it's going kind of viral, but it's saying that you only see what you're looking for. And that's another way to say it, right? Our reticular activating system, quite literally, its job is to prove to you what you are looking for, or like what your beliefs are, right? So if you have a belief that says like you're dumb, or like what Kayma was just saying, or like money's hard to find, or I don't know, love doesn't exist, or stuff like that, your brain will be like, okay, that's our belief. Let me show that to you. Let me seek that out. Let me look for that. And that's all you're going to see. Like you only see what you're looking for.
Yep. Where you put your attention is where you put your energy.
Yeah.
So whatever you think is true, it's true.
Yes.
Whatever you're thinking over and over again, you are going to go out and you are going to find that.
Yeah.
So you kind of explained it to me once. Your brain is kind of like a movie theater where the image starts in the back of your head and it goes out of your eyes.
Yes.
So whatever you're seeing inside, you are going to see outside.
Yes, I love that analogy. I'm so glad you brought that up. Literally, it's like your brain is like a projector, right? So like Kayma just said, whatever's going on in your brain, right, in your mind, is being projected out, and that is what you're seeing. Okay, so you have to change your beliefs internally, and changing our beliefs is so interesting and such an interesting topic that I love to learn about and love to implement for myself, and I love to do that with my clients, because our beliefs are just thoughts, or just thoughts that we've thought over and over and over again, or things that we've been told when we were young or growing up or whatever. But we can change our beliefs.
Yeah.
Sometimes it feels scary and it feels hard to change our beliefs, but I would argue most beliefs are changeable. Yeah. So it's kind of like figuring out what beliefs you currently have, and if they're serving you, great. If they're helping you become your best self and living your best life, great. But really, really becoming aware of what your beliefs is the first step to changing your entire reality. It's really cool.
It is cool. So we talk about this all the time, but things we can do to change our beliefs, to change our limiting beliefs, to help us feel better, to think differently. Gotta first become aware.
Yes.
So meditation and shadow work.
Yes.
You then reframe that.
Yes.
Reframe those thoughts.
Yes.
We can do some EFT tapping, affirmations, mirror work, just listening to positive content, listening to this podcast, anything that just makes you feel happy, uplifting thoughts. And then from there, you get your body aligned.
Yeah.
You do some nervous system regulation.
Yes.
So we do walking, grounding, exposure to sunlight, staying off your phone.
Yeah. Breath work. Moving your body, grounding, touching the earth, spending time in nature, getting sunlight. I don't know, you said that. There's a lot of ways to regulate your nervous system, and all of these things help. Like all of this stuff goes back to helping change your internal mindset, changing your internal state, raising your vibration. Yeah. It's so good.
So knowing this, you guys, go back to that question I asked you earlier. What if everything happening to you right now is a reflection of your own mindset and beliefs?
Yeah.
Would you want to do the work to change?
Yeah.
because it's kind of fun. It's
It's really
kind of great.
fun. Yeah.
I kind of sometimes like when situations arise for me because I really have been utilizing all these modalities, and I feel like I do problem solve a lot quicker because I have so much trust in everything working out.
Oh my God. Keyword there, quicker. Literally
Right?
quicker. Because I think even people who haven't started on this healing journey or people who are down bad, most people's problems kind of get solved, or like you work through it eventually,
Right.
whether that's weeks, months, years.
Right.
But knowing all these modalities and changing your subconscious beliefs and being kind to yourself and hyping yourself up and having a regulated nervous system, it all just helps you move through situations and problems so much quicker.
Right.
Like so much quicker. And it's just, and Dr. Joe calls that the refractory period. We'll do a
Mm-hmm.
whole episode on that because, yeah, life, even the most healed people, not saying that we're the most healed people, but even people who've gone on this journey, like we still have situations come up. We still have like bad moments, bad days, whatever. We just have these tools that we're able to work through these things so much better. And like you just said, you kind of like that moment or
Right.
those situations a little bit. And I agree because I'm like, every time I'm triggered, every time I'm going through something hard, every time I'm like crying, bawling, crying, I'm like, oh, okay, I know I'm going to get out of this. Like, I know I'm going to evolve. I know I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
grow. I know I'm going to come out stronger and better on the other side of this. And I think I was saying that on the last episode, but it's really, really true.
Yeah, I definitely see a lot of situations where the way I react now is different than how I'd react a year ago. I yesterday at work, I had a patient spit at me, like spit in my face. And a year ago, I would have absolutely lost my damn mind. I would have been so upset, so just like taken aback. And yesterday when it happened, I was wearing my goggles. I I went to the bathroom, and as I'm washing my face, I was so grateful. I just kept being like, "Thank you, universe, for having me wear my goggles. Thank you, universe, for not having the spit get in my eyes." Like I
Yeah.
was just like happy, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, just seeing even that change. I know we were talking about this yesterday. I was like, I reacted so differently because I'm calm, cool, and collected,
Yeah. That's so beautiful.
right?
That's amazing.
Yeah, I'm currently, you guys, I'm working 6 days in a row,
It's just
and
crazy
it is
for a
crazy.
nurse. Like, that's insane.
It is crazy. There's a lot of nurses out there who do that. They like, working in big clumps, and then they take a lot of time off. I'm not one of those people.
Yeah.
I crash out after the third day. I'm like, get me home. I need to be not doing this. But yeah, I'm my fourth day in. I have two more shifts, and I'm feeling so good.
Yes.
And I really think it's because I'm taking care of my body.
Yeah.
Like my nervous system is regulated. I wake up every day. We're in the midst of our 21-day challenge. So, on top of my regular routine, I've been doing everything that we're doing with the group in the Telegram,
Yeah.
and I'm feeling so good. Like
Yeah.
last night, I came home. It was the first time Liv and I saw each other in a couple days, and she's like, "How are you feeling?" And I'm like, "Look at me. I'm high energy. Like I'm wanting to
Yeah.
talk after work, and I'm usually like dead after my third day." But yeah, it's nice seeing the change in myself.
Totally. It's so cool seeing the change. And as a coach, it's really, really, really cool seeing the change in my clients too. You know, like I have a client right now who we've been working together probably what, like 3 months or so now, and she has like changed so much
Mm-hmm.
already. And I don't know, yeah, like you really can change your mindset and change your reality honestly really quickly. So
It's
keeping that in mind too, which is hopeful.
it also takes a lot of stress off of you and puts you in a relaxed state when you truly understand the concept of there is no one else to blame or no one else to have to rely on except for yourself.
Literally. That, I mean, that kind of goes to, I think, what I was saying a second ago about I love knowing the world is a mirror, because anytime I perceive someone like doing me wrong or like being mean to me or judging me or something, I can always come back to be like, oh wait, okay, it's just me. Like
Right.
no one is out to get me. Everyone's just reflecting back to me my own beliefs. So yeah, it's really about radical responsibility. And personally, I love that feeling. I'm like, oh, wait, it's only part of me that hates myself, not actually you. You don't actually. Okay, fine. We can work on that. We can fix that.
Okay, so we know how we can fix ourselves inside,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
To make the reflection a little better.
Mm-hmm.
But what are things we can do on the outside?
Botox.
Okay, so outside of Botox,
Yeah.
what are some things we can do to fix like outside of us?
Yes, changing your reality, like
Changing the reality in the sense of doing things that you want to see be done.
yes, okay, totally. That is a good point, right? Of like acting, you moving in this world in a way that you want like more people to move, essentially, like
Right.
you being an example. I think it kind of shows your subconscious mind that there are people that are doing the right thing or being good people, and then whatever, you're going to start seeing that more when you start embodying that. But I was sending Kayma this TikTok the other day of this guy who was helping this grandma across the street, right? He made this TikTok. I was like, hey, everyone, just a FYI, a PSA that grandmas and old people really do want help crossing the street. And I thought that was really interesting because I was like, oh, okay, I actually don't think I really knew that. And it was cool that he made a TikTok that he did that, right? So it inspired me to be like, okay, let me start looking for essentially grandmas that I can help, right? Well, not really looking for it, but it was in my mind. And me and Kayma live by a grocery store, and apparently near a lot of old people too.
Yeah.
And so there's been 2 times where I've been like driving by our apartment, and there was these grandmas carrying tons of groceries,
Yeah.
like looking like they're struggling. And I was like, and I thought about the guy
Right.
helping the grandma across the street, and I was like, let me just ask this grandma if she wants help carrying these groceries, or like give her a ride to wherever she's going. And both of them said yeah, and they
I
were both
know.
so like so thankful and so nice. So they hopped in my car, and I drove them a couple blocks. And I don't know, it's just an example of like being a like quote unquote good person, or just like
Right.
helping your neighbor and doing the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
even though it felt a little bit uncomfortable for me because I'm like, I don't know if I should just talk to this random
Yeah.
person. Not so much because they're a
As I
grandma.
well, like in a safe way. Like
Yeah,
as long as
yeah,
you're being safe, like
yeah,
doing something that will help change the trajectory of anything. Really,
yeah.
it's all a butterfly effect,
Yes,
right?
totally.
So if you don't want to put some stranger in your car, there's other things you could
Yeah,
like pick up trash when
yeah,
you see it outside, right? Like we all want to live in a clean planet.
yes,
You can put the shopping cart back wherever you found it.
yeah,
Don't leave it in the middle of the parking lot,
yeah.
right?
Smiling at strangers.
I saw this guy. I was walking down a sidewalk and he was walking towards me and he looked kind of scary and it was dark outside and I was really scared. And so I was like, let me just smile at him. And I smiled at him. You guys, this man stopped and said, thank you so much for that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what? You're so right. Smiling at strangers.
Yeah, like you
Because
never
that
know.
could really change someone's day.
Totally. And I was also back to the universal laws, the 12 universal laws. I was asking ChatGPT. I was having a little therapy learning session with Chat the other day, and I was having her explain the universal laws to me like in another way or whatever. And she was talking about the first law, which is the law of divine oneness, which we should do a whole
Yeah, we
episode.
need an entire episode
Yeah,
on that.
just on that. It's basically saying we're all connected. So when you're helping another person, you're helping yourself essentially. So and she was explaining, yeah, what Kayma just said, like the butterfly effect, right? Which is when you not this isn't the only way the butterfly effect applies, but it applies in helping someone, right? Or like doing the right thing or being extra nice or being kind to someone. Like when you do that to one person, that person might be inspired to do it to another person, and that person might be inspired to do it to another person. And like that train of that reaction could literally go 1,000 people deep
Right.
just from you starting it, right? So you never know how much you're actually affecting the world by like doing a nice thing.
Yeah, I love that.
It's really cool. Okay, I said that we have some quotes for you guys today. So I'm about to do another one. This is like one of my favorite quotes ever. I like feel like I reference it all the time. But it is from Zig Ziglar. And he said, you can't change what's going on around you until you start changing what's going on within you. Back to this. This is just another quote, another thing to prove that this is real. Like
It is
you
real.
really can't change your external without looking internally. And Bashar, who's like someone kind of similar to Abraham Hicks, who channels, I feel like he has a really good way of describing this, which is he talks about how if you're looking in the mirror, right? If you're looking in the mirror, you're you, and then you see your reflection, which is kind of like reality, right? You can't be looking in the mirror and expect your reflection to randomly start smiling unless you smile first,
I love
right?
that. I love that
I
analogy. I think
know.
it's so
Me
perfect
too.
and it's so true.
You have to change first if you want your reflection, which is the external, which is what you're seeing in your reality. You have to change first, which is again taking radical responsibility, but I promise it's worth it. Like life can get so good
You just have to think it.
and you just have to think it.
Yeah, you have to really really start questioning things
Yes.
and yourself in a space to get excited,
Yeah.
to hope for the best,
Yeah.
and to start thinking really positively even if it feels uncomfortable at first.
Yeah, heavy on that, even if it feels weird or even if you have some resistance towards it at the beginning or even like during your journey, it's going to feel weird. Our brain doesn't like to change. Our brain doesn't like to evolve. It resists that, but you have to push through.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to push through. You have to keep doing your affirmations. You have to, I mean, looking within, right? Like that's a big part of it too, looking within and figuring out what you are thinking, what you're believing, doing the shadow work. Shadow work is so crucial for changing your external reality because that helps you figure out what beliefs you even have. Because, yeah, Kayma was explaining earlier of like becoming aware of what beliefs you have first is the key, right? Because you could have all of these subconscious beliefs, all of this programming, all of these habits, these ways of thinking that you just think are that's just what you've been doing your whole life. Like you don't think about it, but you have to become aware of that. And shadow work is such a good way. And meditation.
Right. Well, going off of that, that really is like the power of thought,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because that's how you think, that's how you feel,
Yeah.
that's how you act, and then that's what you get.
Yeah.
So, fixing the inside is key.
Fixing the inside is
And we're
key.
so lucky because we can change it anytime.
Yeah, we're so lucky we can change at any time and that you can change. And we're lucky that our brain is changeable and malleable and neuroplasticity is it shows that, right? Our brain is really cool. And just training your brain. Like it's about training your brain and being in control of what you're thinking. I also wanted to say Kamo was just talking about letting yourself get your hopes up and dreaming big and being delusional essentially. And when you are dreaming big and when you're letting yourself get your hopes up and you're letting yourself like be like, "Ooh, what do I want?" right? Like what do I actually want in this life? Like what is the best case scenario? What would make me the happiest person? Sometimes you're going to start getting this resistance come up and
Mm-hmm.
you're going to have your like limiting beliefs kind of come to the surface, and that's a good time. That's a good thing too. Like when you start to dream so big that your limiting beliefs kind of get pushed up to the surface and be like, whoa, you can't have that because you think this, right? Like you think you're not good enough for that. When those beliefs start to come up, that's a good thing because then you can start tackling them and you can start changing them and you can start working on them and rewiring your mind. And that from my experience, that's kind of been a side effect of dreaming big. Those beliefs and those kind of scary thoughts kind of come up to the surface, but you have to like work through them and not just let them run control.
I don't know if we've mentioned this before, but do you know what I think about based off what you just said is jealousy.
Oh yeah.
Like have we talked about that?
I don't know. Talk about it.
Recognizing that you're jealous is so key because you can use it and change it into a tool of being like, oh, okay, I'm not jealous because X, Y, and Z has it. I'm jealous because maybe there's a version of me that also wants that and knows that it can achieve that.
Yeah. Jealousy is actually can be such a good thing. Literally, we should do a whole podcast just on that. I always say that. We have so many podcast ideas. If someone gets what you want, right? Like I don't know, a promotion, an amazing boyfriend, something like that, and you're like jealous of them, you can start feeling yourself being like jealous instead of being like, whoa, I'm pissed that person had that. You can start to reframe it and be like, okay, the universe would only show that to me if it was
Right.
possible for me as well, right?
Yes.
And the universe would only show that to me if if I'm close to getting it too. It's like, ooh, I'm
Mm-hmm.
right on the precipice of getting this, so that's why I'm seeing it, right? Like we're really, I mean, if you want to think like metaphysical terms, I think it's like you can't even see something unless you're somewhat a vibrational match to it. So when you start seeing all these people win and you're seeing all the success and whatever, you're like, okay, thanks universe for showing me that that's like coming to me really soon.
Okay, getting into the quantum about
Yeah.
metaphysical.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, jealousy is such a great tool. That feeling that you feel, definitely switching the energy and taking it off the person that you're jealous of and putting it back on yourself and being like, oh hell yeah, I feel some type of way about that. That means I want that. Let me go get it, because there
Yes.
is a reality out there. There is a time and space where I also have that
Yeah,
thing, and it's
totally.
calling to me.
Exactly.
So yeah, definitely any kind of limiting beliefs that pop up when you're trying to work on yourself,
Yeah.
catching those and just really digging deep into them. Also, I know we always talk about episodes we're going to do, but we'll definitely do an episode on anxiety.
Yeah.
But in the past, when I used to truly believe I had anxiety, I promise you, every single day I woke up and unknowingly went out into the world and found something to be anxious about.
Right.
I found something to trigger me. I found something to upset me. I found things to ruin my day.
Yeah, to overthink on,
Right?
to
To ruminate
ruminate.
on.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, had me sick.
Yeah.
Literally had me feeling sick because that was my belief.
Yeah.
I believed I had anxiety, therefore I had anxiety.
Mhm.
Now I wake up every day and I say, I am so thankful for today. I have the best life. I have the best friends. I have the best family. Life is so good. The universe always protects me. The universe always protects those around me.
Mhm.
And what happens?
Yeah.
I wake up and I live those days.
Yeah. Your anxiety can definitely be lowered so much with this stuff, with mindset work, with regulating your nervous system, especially. So many people have or feel like they have anxiety or feel super anxious because their nervous system is dysregulated. That's a side note. Or because they're constantly in their brains being like, I fucking suck. Like,
Right.
life hates, like, everyone hates me. The world is hard. But when you start changing those thoughts to being more positive, of course, the anxious thoughts are going to be less.
Yeah, no, your external reality truly is an interplay of your internal state.
Yeah.
So fix that shit.
Yeah. And I mean, again, I'm speaking from personal experience, right? Like, so many people, just like relationships, especially romantic relationships, I can see heavy on people treating me much better.
Right.
The way the more that I level up
Like
my
yourself,
yeah,
and you
level
tell
up.
yourself you're deserving of that
Totally.
kind of love, that kind of
Yes.
intimacy, and then
Yes.
that's what's reflected to you.
Yes, exactly. And people in general, I would say I've always thankfully had really great friendships, but
Yeah.
even some friendships or the way family members have behaved around me, or bosses in jobs for sure too. Like, yeah, it's very. I mean, I wouldn't be so passionate about this topic if it wasn't like so prevalent for me. And so, like, anytime I have like a problem area externally,
Mm-hmm.
and I go within and I change internally, every single time it works.
You can pinpoint it.
Yeah, I can
too.
kind of pinpoint it and be like, okay, as soon as I need, like, let me stop getting so upset. Let me stop trying to change this externally. Like, let me just go within and change internally. And every single time it changes externally. It's crazy.
You really only receive what you believe you deserve.
Yeah.
So it is up to us to switch that baseline and to push the box further out, to raise the roof. Do whatever you got to do, because we are all so deserving. Abundance and joy is our birthright.
Yep.
I will remind you guys and myself every single episode.
Yeah. Like, there's just so many people out there who are, living their lives. Maybe it's an average life. Maybe they have food and shelter and a decent job, but they're just living in their mind, living in like a quote unquote, like a hell inside of their mind, right? Like, living all this anxious thoughts, like always first focused on the worst case scenario, like not believing in themselves, hating everyone around them. And so much of that is changeable. Like, so much of that is changeable. So you can feel so good and you can manifest anything that you want, and you can change your external by changing internally. It's so worth it. And it's like, you might as well try it. I've said this before,
Right.
but that's how I got into all of this stuff in my healing journey and my manifesting journey. Like, I didn't believe in any of this stuff. I really didn't. Like, maybe I had watched The Secret a long time ago, but I forgot. Like, I totally forgot that shit. Did not believe in manifesting. But I was like, okay, I might as well try this and go all in and changing internally for 6 months or a year, and just go all in. Because if it doesn't work, then fine, I just wasted 6 months or a year, whatever, out of a
But
hundred.
what does wasting even really mean?
Right, exactly.
Like there's no bad outcomes to just having a better mindset, to just
Exactly.
things working out for you.
Yes, exactly. But in my the way I was thinking about it was like, if even if I quote unquote waste 6 months or a year and then none of this stuff works, then it's not that big of a deal. It's just at 6 months a year. But if it does work, then my entire life trajectory is going to change. So I might as well test it out and might as well see. And I promise you, quickly realize that this stuff works.
Well, that's the thing about the universe, is when you just give her a little hint of some
Yes.
sort of emotion or a little hint of some sort of vibration, she's like, fuck yeah, tenfold now. Go. She's
Literally.
like, oh, you feel better? Here, let me give you 10 things
Yeah.
to feel better, even more better about right now.
Exactly. The universe is like, oh, you think you deserve good things? Okay, bet. Here you go.
Right. And same can go for, the opposite.
Yeah. And it's okay to feel those feelings every now and then. Also, I think sometimes people get worried, like, oh shit, I just
I
had a
messed
negative.
everything up.
Yeah, like I just had one negative thought, or I had a negative day and I just ruined everything. That's not how it works. It's okay. So that's that. At the end of the day, it's just what you're thinking, what you're feeling the majority of the time, right? Like, it's okay to still have those negative thoughts and feelings every now and then, whatever, but just really, really trying not to, like Kayma just said, like, really try not to just sit in it and stew in it for days, weeks, like really, really doing whatever you need to do to get yourself out of that and be essentially nice to yourself and have a happy mind.
Yep. So don't forget, smiling in the mirror.
Yes.
You can't change your reflection. You have to smile first.
Yes.
That's so good.
Yeah. I love Bashar. If you're into some really woo woo, if you're really wanting to get into some woo woo shit, look up Bashar.
Yeah.
Bashar, BASHAR. So yeah, look into stuff. I love Bashar. I don't, people are like, oh, is it real? Is it not real? And I'm like, okay, well, if it's not real, then he's just really smart, I guess. It's either that or extraterrestrial.
I mean, there's literal aliens in the ocean, so literally. It's all something.
You gotta
just laugh and go with the vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Well, but yeah, life is good, babes. Life is really good. Be delusional. If you're feeling down bad, listen to our podcast on repeat.
Yes.
It's the only thing that'll happen. Just kidding.
No, but join our Telegram for all you guys.
Yes. Well, we'll put the link to join our Telegram in the show notes. It's fun if you want to join in there. Right now, we're still doing our Delusional December challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get in there and kind of finish the rest of that. But after the challenge, every day we'll probably be sending in like tips and tricks of how to be more delusional, how to work on your mindset. And you'll be the first to hear updates on, our incoming membership and actual paid community in 2025. So lots of good stuff coming.
A lot of good things coming, you guys. Me and Liv we've been really, really, really excited.
Yeah, we've been working and twerking.
We've been twerking for sure.
We've been really out here working and twerking, and we're really excited and grateful that we're able to change the world and help you all. We've been getting really good feedback, so keep up the feedback. It means a lot. And yeah.
Also, let us know what we should talk about, because we would love to hear from you. I know a couple people have told us some things, and we definitely have them queued up.
So if you have questions, if you have topics, totally, DM us, shoot us an email, whatever. We would love to hear, because sometimes we don't know. And for me, I'm really trying to find this balance of like remembering what I was thinking and what I was feeling at the beginning.
When we were first starting this.
At the beginning of my
such
journey.
a good point.
right? Because now I'm like, oh, life's good, la di di
Yeah, it's
da.
like easy.
Yeah,
And even when we have like moments of like, well, I guess me, when I have moments of like kind of feeling down, I'm so quick about being like,
right.
I'm like, bitch, get the
Yeah.
fuck up. You're a witch.
Yeah. No, seriously. Or at least I think I was talking to my client about this of like I still have moments too, right? Like I still have being triggered moments, like sad moments, but for me, I know it's going to end. Like I know it's going to end. I know what to do to make it end quicker. I know what to do to like get over it quicker, to like move through those emotions quicker. I do let myself feel my feelings, but I'm able to like move through it quicker, regulate quicker. And that's just a point to always remember when you're on this journey of like sometimes you get in those little ruts or those bad moments, days, whatever, and it just feels like it's not going to end, but it always ends. Like it
Yeah.
really does. There's so many ways to make yourself feel better. There's so many like life really is like up and down, but like there's always going to be an up.
There is always going to be an up. Again, I know we talked about this in the last episode, the episode of gratitude, but just saying thank you to like those low moments, because that duality, that contradiction, those moments give us time to really enjoy and reflect on like the even better moments.
Yes,
Like
1000%.
they're needed too. Yeah, the whole point of us being here on earth is to live like an abundant, joyful life. I totally believe that, but I also think we chose to live lives where we get to feel all these different emotions, all
Yeah,
these ups and downs, and being sad and heartbreak and those are beautiful emotions too,
totally.
right?
It helps us it helps us enjoy and appreciate the like the good moments too. Yeah, it really is like duality. I think that's maybe one of the other universal laws, like maybe the law of polarity or something
Mm,
of just like there's yeah, if it was we were talking about this last night of like if the world was just this utopia of perfectness,
yeah, like why would we
yeah, it'd be
even want to
like
be here?
right, like then we just stay in heaven, I guess, if we
Right.
wanted that. Like
Right.
Earth and being in this human reality and existence is like it really is about the ups and downs,
Right. Like
both.
we chose to come here to like live these experiences. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is an episode.
Yeah, yeah.
Me and Olivia, us trying to figure out why we came here. It's like that,
That's the
yeah.
shit we talk
That's what we
about
talk
in
about,
this
and
apartment.
we're definitely yeah, I think right now we're still just trying to, be positive, guys. Like there's so much to be grateful for. There's so much to live for, but we want to get into the weird, wacky
Yeah,
shit. Like we
totally.
really want to, because these are the things that keep me up at night.
Yeah, like we're really about that life.
Yeah.
But we love, being delusional and living our best fucking lives too. So it's a
Yeah,
cool mix.
it is a good
That's why
mix.
this is the newest
Bestest
best podcast.
podcast. Your favorite podcast
Your
hosted by your
fave.
delusional besties.
This is the fastest growing, fun, spiritual wellness, woo woo, and just us girlies being girlies
Yeah.
too. So,
But yeah, we will see you in the next episode, and we
yes,
love you
we
guys.
love you guys. Be delusional.